Gedeon said to the God, If thou wilt save Yisrael by my hand, as thou hast spoken, behold, I will put a fleece of wool on the threshing floor. If there be dew on the fleece only, and it be dry upon all the ground, then shall I know that thou wilt save Yisrael by my hand, as thou hast spoken. And it was so, for he rose up early on the morrow, and pressed the fleece together, and wrung the dew out of the fleece, a bowl full of water. And Gedeon said to the God, Let not thy anger be kindled against me, and I will speak but this once. Let me make trial, I pray thee, but this once, with the fleece. Let it now be dry only upon the fleece, and upon all the ground let there be dew. And God did so that night, for it was dry upon the fleece only, and there was dew on all the ground. Shofetim, Judges chapter 7. Then Jerubbaal, who is called Gedeon, and all the people that were with him rose up early, and encamped beside the spring of Harad. And the camp of Madian was on the north side of them, by the hill of the Moreh in the valley. And Yahweh said to Gedeon, The people that are with thee are too many for me to give Madian into their hand, lest Yisrael vaunt themselves against me, saying, My own hand hath saved me. Now therefore proclaim in the ears of the people, saying, Whosoever is fearful and trembling, let him return and depart from the mount of the Galaad. And there returned of the people 22,000, and there remained 10,000. And Yahweh said to Gedeon, The people are yet too many. Bring them down to the water, and I will try them for thee there. And it shall be, that of whom I say to thee, This shall go with thee, the same shall go with thee. And of whomsoever I say to thee, This shall not go with thee, the same shall not go. So he brought down the people to the water, and Yahweh said to Gedeon, Every one that lappeth of the water with his tongue, as a dog lappeth, him shalt thou set by himself. Likewise every one that boweth down upon his knees to drink. And the number of them that lapped, putting their hand to their mouth, was 300 men. And all the rest of the people bowed down upon their knees to drink water. And Yahweh said to Gedeon, By the 300 men that lapped will I save you, and deliver Madian into thy hand. And let all the people go, every man to his place. So the people took victuals in their hand, and their sounding horns, and he sent all the men of Yisrael every man to his tent, but retained the 300 men, and the camp of Madian was beneath him in the valley. And it was the same night that Yahweh said to him, Arise, get thee down into the camp, for I have delivered it into thy hand. But if thou fear to go down, go thou with Parah thy servant down to the camp, and thou shalt hear what they say, and afterward shall thy hands be strengthened to go down into the camp. Then went he down with Parah his servant to the outermost part of the armed men that were in the camp, and Madian, and Amalek, and all the children of the east lay along in the valley like locusts for multitude, and their camels were without number, as the sand which is upon the seashore for multitude. And when Gedeon was come, behold, there was a man telling a dream to his fellow. And he said, Behold, I dreamed a dream. And lo, a cake of barley bread tumbled into the camp of Madian, and came to the tent, and smote it, so that it fell, and turned it upside down, so that the tent lay flat. And his fellow answered him and said, This is nothing else except the sword of Gedeon, the son of Joash, a man of Israel. Into his hand the God hath delivered Madian and all the host. And it was so, when Gedeon heard the telling of the dream and the interpretation thereof, that he worshipped. And he returned into the camp of Israel and said, Arise, for Yahweh hath delivered into your hand the host of Madian. And he divided the 300 men into 3 companies, and he put into the hands of all of them sounding horns and empty pitchers with torches within the pitchers. And he said to them, Look on me, and do likewise. And behold, when I come to the outermost part of the camp, it shall be that, as I do, so shall ye do. When I blow the sounding horn, I and all that are with me, then blow ye the sounding horns also on every side of all the camp, and say, For Yahweh and for Gedeon. So Gedeon and the 100 men that were with him came to the outermost part of the camp in the beginning of the middle watch, when they had but newly set the watch. And they blew the sounding horns, and broke in pieces the pitchers that were in their hands. And the 3 companies blew the sounding horns, and broke the pitchers, and held the torches in their left hands, and the sounding horns in their right hands, wherewith to blow. And they cried, A sword for Yahweh and for Gedeon. And they stood every man in his place round about the camp, and all the host ran, and they roared, and put them to flight. And they blew the 300 sounding horns, and Yahweh set every man's sword against his fellow, and against all the host. And the host fled as far as Beit Hashetah toward Threra, as far as the lip of Abel Mahulah by Abath. And the men of Israel were gathered together out of Naphtali, and out of Asher, and out of all Manasseh, and pursued after Madian. And Gedeon sent messengers throughout all the hill country of Ephraim, saying, Come down against Madian, and take before them the waters, as far as Beit Berah, even the Jordan. So all the men of Ephraim were gathered together, and took the waters as far as Beit Berah, even the Jordan. And they took the 2 princes of Madian, Oreb and Zeheb, and they slew Oreb at the rock of Oreb, and Zeheb they slew at the winepress of Zeheb, and pursued Madian. And they brought the heads of Oreb and Zeheb to Gedeon beyond the Jordan. And the men of Ephraim said to him, Why hast thou served us thus, that thou calledst us not when thou wentest to fight with Madian? And they did chide with him sharply. And he said to them, What have I now done in comparison to you? Is not the gleaning of the grapes of Ephraim better than the vintage of Abiezer? God hath delivered into your hand the princes of Madian, Oreb and Zeb, and what was I able to do in comparison with you? Then their anger was abated toward him when he had said that.